Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Crafty Concepts with Erin. I'm so glad you're here. Today is a special video. Several of my crafty friends and I will be celebrating a big achievement here on my channel. I have officially reached 20,000 subscribers. Thank you to all of you wonderful people in this crafty community for making that happen. I'm so grateful. And to celebrate, everybody is scrap lifting me. We did this for my 10,000 subscriber celebration, so we thought how fun, or why not do it again for 20,000. So we are going to be, there'll be a new video every day this week. We're not all going on one day, so be sure to check back to see everybody's take on layouts I have done in the past. I have quite a few photos that I need to incorporate into this design, and we were scrapbooking. These are my sister-in-laws and my niece and a good friend. We were at a very beautiful historic home in San Francisco, and we were scrapbooking. So this Sweet Memories collection does lend itself very well to heritage and vintage style photos. So the colors and the aesthetic of the paper pack are going to work out very well for these pictures here. The layout I have decided to scrap lift is this one I put together featuring the Cape Cod collection. You can see it does have a lot of photos. I am going to mix it up somewhat, and of course I'm using different papers, different embellishments, but this is the one I will be scrap lifting, so we'll bring this back in the end and see the differences I made. So let me go ahead and clear this up. It is going to be a double page, of course. Let me grab my VersaMats. I really enjoyed the 10,000 subscriber celebration because it was so fun just seeing everybody's take on layouts that I had done in the past. I am going to start on a base of white daisy cardstock. Now, I don't think you will be able to see any of the white cardstock, but it's going to just act as some scaffolding for my pattern paper so that I can conserve pattern paper. And this will just be what I adhere it to. This is also a great use for those pattern papers in your stash that you just don't like. Maybe you bought them like a big paper pack or something, and there was a few patterns in there that just didn't really resonate with you. You can use them as a background like this, and they'll be all covered up. So it's just something to adhere your pattern papers to. So looking at the sketch here, you can see we have one that looks like a 12 by 12 piece divided, spread across both pages. And then we've got, you know, the same pattern paper going across the bottom, and then this here behind the photos. Now I did leave a white border on this one and tuck this in a little bit. I think, well, we'll see. Let's decide what papers we're using first. So looking at my photos here, I've already kind of gone through here and decided which papers I think will work best. This is a bonus pattern paper from the Sweet Memories Scrapbooking Workshop, and I love the green with the mist in the background. The camera paper, it does have the ledger on the opposite side, and I do have a couple packs of this. I bought the workshop and then I bought an additional paper pack. I have some other ideas for the camera, a more masculine layout, so we're going to hang on to that one. I think I want to use some ledger paper, and definitely this one. This mulberry pattern just looks so vintage to me, and if you look at the colors in the photo, if you see the carpet, it's like the carpet is mulberry. So I think that, and it just reminds me of old-fashioned wallpaper or maybe drapes or something like that. So I think it's going to work really beautifully. So typically I like to put my darker colors on the bottom, my heavier colors. So maybe we'll use this one across the bottom, and then maybe we can use this pattern paper to represent that piece across the middle. So then we need something here. So I've got this one. I don't want to use the green because it'd be too much, you know, the green on green. I don't think that. I want a little bit more contrast. So we can try this paper here. And it's pretty, but I feel like it's too many patterns going on. Let's try the ledger paper because it's a bit more subtle. This is a zip strip, the branding strip. I do need to cut that off the top. I mean, you can leave them, but I think I'm going to omit that. So this is my main focal photo. On the other layout, I had two portrait style photos. For this one, I am having one horizontal photo, so that's one difference already. But I do like that. The ledger paper adds some interest without being overwhelming, and this is a nice anchor. I know what title I'm using, so my title's going to pop off that background nicely. So let me go ahead and cut these down. I'll be right back. Okay, I've got all my pieces cut. So we've got our ledger paper that's going to sit like this, and then we've got this piece here that I cut and divided, and then we've got our centerpiece. Now the zip strip I left attached, the branding strip here. I love this pattern paper, it's so pretty. We'll use that for another project. So that's going to sit like this, and then I cut, you get 2 of each pattern, so you'll have another zip strip off of the other pattern paper piece. So that is going to be the base for my photos. I went ahead and inked up the edges and got all of those base layers adhered so I can place my photos. Now on the original, I had 3 square photos, but these photos, you can't really crop those into a square without, you know, cutting off important parts of the photo. So I wanted to keep those in portrait style. So I just cut or print this one here, sized it to fit in between. And then these 3, I think I want right here. There is this very distracting red box behind me in the picture, and I will try to cover that with some type of embellishment because it's just drawing your eye, and that's not where I want your eye to go. So this is pretty true to the original layout here. I want to bring black into this layout, so I cut a black photo mat for my main focal photo here. So we have this double matted with the white and then the black, and that just really helps that to stand out. We'll draw that black over to the other side by matting this photo, and I have mentioned this before, whenever I have photos like this in a row, I don't like how you can see all the little paper layers in between, so I feel like it just really tidies everything nicely when you mat them. You can mat them together. So they already have the white border, and then this is the mist color cardstock, which is in the background paper here and in the ledger paper. So I feel like that just ties them all together, and you don't have all of those transitions showing from behind the photos. Let me just get these where they need to be here. I have some stickers from the coordinating sticker sheet I know I want to incorporate. So there's this really pretty floral design, and I thought this would look neat kind of wrapping up the photo. And then in my other layout, I had the title here. So I pulled this sticker, Living the Dream, because scrapbooking with your friends is definitely living the dream. So that's going to sit right under here. I did remove the adhesive from the back of these so I can move them around. And then maybe we'll put the camera somewhere over on this side. I also have a viewfinder. I cut this. This is from the Sweet Memories digital collection, and this is just definitely a highlight for me. I think it's so cute. You can make it any size you want, and then you get the base circle and the top piece, so you could cut any color cardstock or even pattern paper to mat that top detailed piece on. So this is going to bring in more of the black. And I had a circle up here in the other layout, so I think I'm going to use this to bring that feature in. So we can go ahead and adhere these together. And I love using circles on a layout to just kind of break up the, you know, all the hard square lines. I thought about bringing my doily into this layout. I have the fancy doily thin cuts, and I think it would be really beautiful and coordinates perfectly with this collection, but I just want to use this. You know, you get a new toy and you want to play with it. So I thought, okay, we'll just go with the viewfinder for now. I've used the doily lots, but it would be absolutely beautiful if you have this to pair with this collection. Maybe we can actually even put the camera kind of right over the top of that. That's cute. And then, like I said, I'm envisioning this kind of going up the side here, but then we're going to end up with this weird end piece. So we need to kind of camouflage that somehow. So maybe kind of like this, and we can tuck some things up in the top. I can always kind of trim that off as well. And then maybe put a little flower over the bottom of it. This workshop came with a lot of fun little bits and pieces to embellish with. There's tags and frames. I do have some additional things in here that I've cut from the coordinating stamp set, like these little swirls come from the Cardmaking workshop, and I absolutely love this little swirl. You also can get swirls. The workshop comes with this smaller version, but there is a larger version. So there's this with the paperboard shapes, and you can just punch them out, and they're beautiful, absolutely beautiful little swirls. There is some titles. I've already used those on other layouts, but this key, there's a skeleton key in there that's really pretty too. That will go nicely with this layout. So yeah, lots of fun little frames. That one's cute. So it's just a matter of going through here, but I want to find a flower or something to cover the bottom of that. And I know there's some in here. This will work. And there's probably, yeah, there's a couple different leaves, but just this nice little floral embellishment. It tells you what project it goes with if you're following the workshop exactly. So I'm going to have to cut that off. Let me just get rid of that right now. Snip that out of the way there. And then we can kind of layer this piece underneath here. I don't know why I adhered that down, because I knew I was going to be putting an embellishment there. I got ahead of myself. Okay, so sneak that little guy under there. And yeah, I like how that is tying that all together. And then we could just add a few little leaves. There was some green leaves too that I've already used on another project. I think there was more in here, but yeah, there's like hearts and little journaling spots that are just beautiful. This is from the digital collection also. And then this is from the digital collection that I cut out and ended up not using for the first project I created. So yeah, they're just really pretty. I apologize for the fluctuations in my audio. I kept getting interrupted, so some of my clips, my microphone's plugged in and some aren't, so that's just the way it goes when you have other people home due to the weather. So I'm just looking for all of the bits of ephemera I can add to this layout. Now this is really cool. This is the Sweet Memories scrapbooking stamp, and these are all beautiful title options or subtitles. That's where this came from. I stamped it out in this mist color for the first layout I created, and then ended up not using it for that one. So maybe we can kind of put this, you know, maybe right there. That looks kind of cool. I actually really like that. I know I definitely want to use this large paperboard swirl. It just adds so much movement and texture to that embellishment cluster, and we still need to camouflage that red box in the photo behind me. When you have distracting elements on the edge of your photos, this is such an easy solution. You just put a little sticker or ephemera, something over it so that it looks like it's part of the layout rather than this distraction drawing your eye. Now I'm going to just cluster up some embellishments over here, sticking out the top of the photo. I love to use tags for this purpose, but now we're going to build up with frames and just bits of the ephemera from this collection. This might look kind of neat on the side here. Now I think I like it better up top. Let's keep all of this up top. Just to extend my ephemera, I am going to cut off the portion that is below the photo line so I can use those elsewhere or on another project. We'll do the same with the frame. And then we'll just get these nestled back in here so everything's kind of touching. Nope, I don't want that one. I want this one right here. I'm layering up the pieces, paying attention to what color I have in each embellishment cluster. Look at how cute that is. Why are these little viewfinders so cute? It's kind of funny, I just recently used the Skylark collection to document another retreat I went to. Retreats are so fun, and I try to go to at least 2 a year. And if you didn't catch Andrea's video, she had really helpful tips on how to pack for a retreat so that you can really make the most of your time. And her tips were super helpful. I used to pack everything. I'd pack my whole craft room. And as my crafty stash expanded, that got harder and harder. And it really is true. When you take too much, you do not, it's overwhelming. You waste time setting up. You know, I won't give away all of Andrea's tips, but definitely check out her video. I'll have it linked in the description below. So I do want a little visual interest down here in this corner, just a little bit, because it was all kind of top heavy. I added my journaling on vellum, as you can see there, and just adhered it up under that row of photos with some liquid glue. I'm going to ink up the edges of these to define them against the background. And then again, it's just to bring a little bit of embellishment to the lower area there. It's always fun to look at the differences in the layouts. So again, I've got 2 portrait style photos here, 1 landscape photo here. We've got the column, but these are 3 3x3 squares double matted. And then again, I couldn't crop these down to a square, so I left them in portrait orientation 3x4 and then sized this one to fit. So it's kind of like 3 by 2.5-ish, just so it would fit in the space. That's one of the biggest benefits of printing at home, is you can really create any size you want. And then here I have that white margin around the outside, but there wouldn't really have been much difference with the ledger paper, so I just ran that all the way to the edge. But otherwise it's pretty similar. A little more embellishing on top and less on this one. I have more embellishing on the bottom. And then let's check out the second page comparison here. Pretty similar. The circular element to house my embellishments is larger on this layout here, but my journaling, I went with the same vellum on both of them, but I had more to say, so I needed more space, so I just didn't put as many embellishments in this corner so that I had more room for my journaling, as to where I had a shorter section here with the embellishments. But you can see how flexible these sketches are. Here I left off the pattern paper and just went with the white background, and then have that ledger paper over here just to add a little background interest. Let me hold these up so you can appreciate all of the details and layering in the embellishments. And of course, you can find still shots on Pinterest, Instagram, or my Facebook accounts. The accounts are linked below. And let me just show you our scrapbooking table in this photo. You know, so much stuff, but we had a great time. It's always fun crafting with friends. I hope you join us each day to see what layouts my friends are going to scrap lift of me and their creative take on the projects. You can find that in the playlist here or in the description box below. This is going to go into next week, so lots of fun inspiration coming your way. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon. Bye.